Yeah, hi. So in previous video, what we had done, we had created one API like in .NET Core, and there we were debugging and seeing the by default controller, that is like weather forecast controller. So in part 2, what I am going to do, I am going to remove the default weather forecast controller, and I am going to add like another controller, that is user controller. So here what we will be doing, we will be displaying one greetings, and also the set of user. That user is like kind of hard coded here, and here in this solution we are not connecting to any database. That's why I have simply displaying the hard coded value. And as part of this solution, I created one DTO class file and one model class file. So model class file is nothing where I am using this ID and name and age, and in case of DTO class I am simply displaying name and age. While this DTO generally what we will be doing, we will be displaying only the required information, so that we can journal this endpoint from any like front-end technology like Angular or React. Then we can only take this name and age. This ID and all will be given backend inside itself. If you want, we can simply display this as well, but as of now I am displaying only name and age here. So let me hit this controller. So let's start with debugging. So here I am using Swagger. We can use Swagger or Postman, any tool for the debugging purpose. So I open it. So until it is completely like visible to us in Swagger, let me discuss this thing. So we have two endpoint here. One is like what is like to display anything like hi. So once we will be hitting this endpoint, we will be getting like hello from user controller, and once we will be getting like second endpoint, this get users, then we will be getting the set of users detail, whether it is included or not. Yeah. So as we can see here in our controller, only two endpoint is there, so we are getting like two endpoint here as well in like server endpoint. So let me hit my first endpoint. So yeah, here we can see we are getting this hello from user controller, but we have hard coded value here like hello from user controller. And if we want to hit the second endpoint, so that is get users. So if we will try it out, execute, we can get the set of like user detail, like we had written three hard coded values, same thing we are getting here. Now suppose anyone want to display this in some front side and all. So generally what will happen in Swagger we are using this ports, but in case of like in our Angular project we might have some different port. For example, Angular uses default port as a 4200 like 4200, so it will be different port, right? So for that there can be issue with course CORS. So in order to avoid that, what I have given like I have added code for allowing different origin also. So for that I have added this line that add course origin in any method or header. So for example, if you are restricted that only particular port or particular domain should access this, then we need to define it here. But in our case it will be getting access by any port. So this is the code for that. So as of now you can see our code is working. So in next part we will proceed further. Let me export this. Thank you.